guys, welcome back to the Daytona Motor Mouse. I'm Ryan Pritt. That's former Florida representative at the Mr. Universe contest, Ken Willis.
Yes.
How are you, Ken?
I'm doing well. Flexible. Hey, how you like my shirt?
Yeehaw, yeah. I wore an appropriate shirt today, too. This is the album Dirt by Alice in Chains. Figured that's appropriate for this week, right?
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad idea. So
we'll get to that here in a second. We'll get to that here in a second. But first, we have to start at the topic everyone's wondering about. You know, you look through NASCAR's annals at great feuds. You know, you had Earnhardt Wallace. Where does Denny Hamlin, J.J. Yaley rank for you in terms of that?
That's you know, you feel bad for JJ because, you know, he's with one of those teams that's just trying to survive and trying to gain every position it can, hoping that something will come along and give it a big break and they'll be able to run up in the front pack, or they're probably destined to, you know, run where they're running. And just to be basically just bullied by one of the front runners and just get punted out of the way. I mean, and in terms of retaliation, I mean, you got to catch the guy first, and that's not going to be the easiest thing to do. So I guess he had a chance during a caution period, but you know, I guess he decided against. JJ did, but yeah, that's the thing, because these guys, JJ Yaley, a very accomplished dirt racer, USAC racer over the years. He just has never gotten the right break, I guess, at NASCAR, but he's got a great reputation as a racer, and, you know, just to be in equipment that can't keep up with these other guys and to just get the bums rush like he did, I mean, it's got to. I reckon it pisses you off, and it might come back to bite Denny eventually.
Yeah, he made it a point to say afterwards that it's funny it came from the guy who's been preaching respect for a week, which I found that to be it was nicely done, JJ. So we all hear you and we feel for you a little bit, but I tell you, man, and no matter what happens, poor Ross. I mean, I don't know what your view of that was on Sunday, but I'm looking at the replay and, you know, I'm not sure Chris has much of a case there. I mean, Ross's reputation's preceding itself a little bit with this one, isn't it?
Well, I'm surprised that the Denny and or JJ didn't blame Ross the boss for their incident. He did come back, if I'm not mistaken. Christopher Bell did come back later and say, "I've seen the replays. I apologize to Ross. Basically, you know, it wasn't his fault."
No. So, I mean, he apologized to William Byron. He did not apologize to Ross Chastain that I saw. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I apologize. But his tweeted apology was to William Byron.
Should we go under the big hood over here and look at the replays?
So if I'm falsely calling Christopher Bell out, I apologize. But I did not.
No, you're probably right. I don't know what I'm clicking on and listening to in the morning. So, you know, the morning after, I trust your instincts.
But yeah, the whole situation, that looked like just a racing move to me. Is that kind of how you saw it too?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nothing looked nefarious, if I can toss that word out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how many people will know what it means, including me, but hey, well, if nothing else, you'll learn something today, guys. So that's good.
It didn't look dirty or underhand.
Well, dirty would be an appropriate word this week. Again, we'll get to that in a minute. Real quickly though, Kyle Larson, after you've put some fake money on him for like 9 weeks in a row, finally breaks through and wins. I don't know if you had any on him this week. Probably not, I'm guessing.
No, I did, but not enough to cover the losses, the fake losses.
Well, I wanted to point out something to you, and you know me, I'm a sucker for stupid stats. So here goes my best Bob Uecker impression. It was the first win of the year for Larson, but another win for Chevy and another win for Hendrick. So here's a stat for you, not counting Daytona, Atlanta, right? Kind of super speedway, free-for-all races. The other 5 races, Auto Club, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Coda, Richmond. There's been 1,263 total laps, and 958 of them have been led by Chevy. That's 76%. Pretty impressive. And by the way, just among those laps, not just Chevy, but 61.8% have been led by Hendrick cars.
Hold on, man. Let me do this.
Yeah. Somebody get a calculator.
Hold
on. Yeah.
That's damn near 3/4 of it.
Yeah. Point being, it's an impressive start for Chevy and Hendrick. And I mean, how does anyone catch up, man? What's it going to take? I mean, you saw some strength for JGR in that race at certain points, but looking at the whole thing, it just hasn't been there for anyone else.
Well, eventually, I assume we're several months away from this, but eventually those Chevy teams are going to have to start working on a new body. So maybe that'll distract them as the season goes along, because 24 is going to be the last year of the Camaro. So eventually they're going to have to devote some resources to massaging whatever follows the Camaro into Cup racing for Chevrolet. But maybe that might be a year down the road. So maybe it's signed and sealed for 23 that it's a Chevy season. Who knows? But it's a long year, as they like to say.
Great point. And, along that Hendrick line, we would be remiss if we didn't mention it took a fill-in driver and a fill-in crew chief to make a great strategy call for Josh Berry to finish second Sunday. That's 2 top 10s in 4 races for him, though. I mean, he's done at least a respectable job and probably done himself some good in terms of a future ride, right?
Yeah, no, he's not hurt himself at all. The second place, you don't want to put an asterisk next to a finish. I'm sure they don't want to put one next to it, but it did. I mean, he was maybe going to be a top 10 car without the strategy, but who knows?
Yeah. Moving on to Bristol a little bit, and if you check out our Speed Freaks section every week, you're going to see what I think about this race. So I'm going to yield to you here a little bit. Dumping dirt on Bristol. I almost said bird on Dristle. That would have been fun. What have been your thoughts about 2 years of dirt racing at the Great Coliseum?
I'm with you. I think it's here as long as everybody's happy with it and there's no disasters. The first year they did it, wasn't that the year they had the Dust Bowl and it was just nobody could see anything, and a lot of people are thinking, this might not be the thing to do here. Then it got better in year 2. Maybe this is the tiebreaker, and we'll see. But I agree with you that it would be nicer if they did it somewhere that's a legitimate dirt track. And even if the place only had 15 or 20,000 seats, it's a TV show by and large anyway. And let Bristol, but if you could do that in a way to let Bristol keep its 2 races on the concrete and just add a legitimate dirt race to the schedule somewhere at one of these great dirt tracks around the country. How about the Volusia County Speedway here in down here in Barberville? That'd be great. So something, a legitimate dirt track, I think that would be more fun. They did it at Eldora with the trucks and it was mixed reviews, but it's different, and I'm all for it. I'm all for a couple of dirt races, actually. Maybe 4, maybe top out at 4 road courses and then add 2 dirt races and then the regular mix to go along with it. And I think that would be ideal if I was in charge. When I'm in charge, I should.
I just hold a soft spot for Bristol, man. That was a track I've been to a bunch where I used to live, and it's tough seeing it. It's almost like it's being, defaced or defiled with dirt every year. I don't know. I think too much of that place, but one thing about it did provide us a good finish last year. If you'll remember, Tyler Reddick dominated a lot of the late going. Chase Briscoe caught him and decided to wipe them both out, yielding the way for Kyle Busch to catch a rare lucky break. Joey Logano, the only driver here with 2 top 5s. Martin Truex, the all-time leader in laps led. A lot of options here, Ken. Who we like?
Tyler Reddick. He's had 2 good finishes there. He dominated much of it last year. And the theory is he's in better equipment this year. I don't know if that's a fact because he was in a Chevrolet last year. If he was in a Chevrolet this year, maybe he would be in even better equipment. But he's racing well, he's running well, he's finishing pretty well. He had the road course win. That'd be something if he had and he ran well. He's run well at most of the Bristol dirt races. That's quite a reputation. Road courses and dirt, not the best, not the normal combo you would expect from a stock car guy.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna have to quit sending you my answers early because you already knew I picked Tyler Reddick. So.
Oh, you know what? I did know that, but to my credit, I had forgot.
Yeah, that's selective memory there from your Ken Willis, guys. So with that, I think we'll bow out on episode 6. He's Mr. Universe Ken Willis. I'm Ryan Pritt, just some guy in Palm Coast, and we'll check you out next week. Thank you for listening.